Okay, as an aficionado of the beautiful game of football, I grew up watching some Turkish clubs. You see, there's Fenerbahce, there's Galatasaray, there's Besiktas, and all of that. But then of recent, you know, when it has to do with the bookmakers, Turkish clubs haven't been giving me what I require. Okay, but then today on the Breakfast Show, we have a Turkish-Canadian, and he is the managing director of Nigeria's #1 online marketplace. I'm talking about Kaymu, Nigeria, and it's great to have you on the show, sir.
Same here.
Welcome,
Do you
sir.
love football? Do you follow football?
I love football.
You love football?
I love football.
What's your local club? Which club do you support?
Fenerbahce.
Fenerbahce?
Yes, yes.
Good. Okay, there was a draw with Galatasaray. That was 2 days ago. It was a 0-0
yes,
draw.
that was an unfortunate incident.
Sorry to blow this bubble.
No.
I'm not a big fan of football.
You don't have to be.
Like, you're leaving me behind.
You don't have to be.
This is going to be a conversation between 3 people. So.
But then Fenerbahce is doing quite better than Galatasaray this time.
Always. Fenerbahce always does better than Galatasaray.
Not always. Great to have you.
in my mind.
Okay, all right, good. Great to have you on the show, sir. So wonderful. Kaymu, I mean, when you look at online shopping in Nigeria, it's something that it's of recent, let's say a few years back. That's when online shopping came into Nigeria and all of that. But then we have seen there's been an improvement. When I say in marketing generally, online shopping has been something that is new to us not too long, but then it has really relieved us.
Yeah.
There's some stress that's taken off. How was it starting Kaymu in Nigeria? I'm looking at the challenges that you had to face because we have a very, very peculiar kind of country. You know, how was it starting up Kaymu or being here? Holding up Kaymu here in Nigeria, how was it for you?
I think running an online marketplace is an e-commerce sector is a marathon. I think everyone needs to understand that. It starts, you need to pace yourself because you're in here for the long haul. What a lot of the e-commerce companies make the mistake is that they jump in and they think that it's a sprint and they run out of breath and they disappear. So starting in Nigeria, of course, Nigeria is the biggest economy in Africa, so everyone talks about the potential, and potential is great, but when you're doing it, you plan for tomorrow, but at the same time, you know that you're going to be here for a long time. So it's your actions it might seem as short-term thinking, but you're always looking at the long run. And starting an e-commerce company in Nigeria, as it's peculiar difficulties. Why is that? Because of everyone knows there are infrastructure issues. There is, although the internet penetration has been increasing, it's not where it would be. So what you're doing here is that you're actually growing the market. You're actually bringing this new way of shopping, and you need to gain the trust of the people. You need to expand the market, and you work with customers, try to understand what they need, so they can be an answer to their problems.
So talking about online markets, as in were there fears that, you know, especially in Nigeria, that people are not going to respond to, you know, shopping online because we are used to going to the market ourselves. So was that their fear before you established Kaymu?
That's a really interesting question. I mean, Nigerians are extremely social people, and part of commerce is actually that social aspect. You go to the market, you chat, you bargain a little bit. It's all part of the experience. And in Nigeria, what we're trying to do is to, again, replicate this on an online platform. So we do not consider ourselves as an e-commerce platform only. We consider ourselves as a social marketplace. So I emphasize the word social because, as I believe, it's when you do shopping, what you do, you usually discuss it with your friends, you bring it, you buy a watch, let's say, your friend asks you where you get it from, you discuss it with different people and so on and so forth. We want to carry this experience to online. This is what we're trying to do.
Okay, so as an entrepreneur in Nigeria, and then let's look at it, what lessons have you gleaned, or let's say, what lessons did you have as an entrepreneur that you have been able to use here that has helped you?
To me, that's a very simple question. Expect the unexpected. When I leave the house in the morning, I'm basically ready for anything. And this is to me, this is one of the most exciting parts about being in Nigeria, because you do not know. I mean, you leave the home, you might be sitting in traffic for 2-3 hours, and you need to be ready for that. You need to have different internet connections ready so that you can take phone calls and so on and so forth. You might expect a delivery. The delivery might not happen on time. Sometimes we face fuel shortages, so you need to be planning for that. So you just always have to be ahead of the curve. You always have to be thinking about, okay, what could have happened, and then Just expect the unexpected.
For me personally, like a couple of months ago, I think sometime last year, I was thinking of going into an online market, you know, selling shoes and all that. But my fear was security. Like, what if I'm being scammed? How am I supposed to, you know, back in that security to make sure this online thing goes smoothly? So, I mean, how did you manage yours?
This is a very good question. So we have several things that we ensure the security because it's not only in Nigeria, it's everywhere in the world. Online, you do not see the person. So when you do face-to-face shopping, there's a connection. When you do online shopping, that connection does not seem to appear immediately. But we overcome through these problems. We have what we call Kaymu safe way, so that you would be able to, as the buyer, you pay the money, but your money is only released after you have the product and you say it's just like, okay, I'm satisfied with this product. We have cash on delivery services, so you only make the payment once you have the delivery and then you actually like it. And then we have, we partner with logistics companies. AIGX is our trusted partner. So if you're a seller sending your product through them, it's actually insured if something happens to the product and let's say robbery or you do not, or it's broken and so on and so forth, you actually get your money back. So we try to make it as easy as our customers. And when I say customers, I mean our community, both from the buyer end and then the seller end, to feel comfortable.
Cool.
Would you describe yourself as an entrepreneur? How do you describe yourself?
It's a good question. I think entrepreneur, it's especially in the last few years, has been it's been like a catch-all phrase.
Exactly, cliche. It's been overused.
Yeah, I mean, it's you know, it's a little bit like what people used to call themselves independent consultants when they were a little bit maybe going through changing jobs and so on and so forth. It's, do I consider myself an entrepreneur? I like adventure. I like trying the untried. I like throwing myself in difficult situations. I like to create things. Is that a definition of entrepreneur? I don't know.
Okay.
I don't think fully, but then the phone lines are open. You can call in and talk to Sefik. The numbers to call in 08091 2222 345 and 6. Let's get now. You said you're not very sure. Okay. Now there's this trend, and all people give it very different names. Some call it employpreneurship. You know, some call it, there are different names, different neologisms people attach to it. But then, as, you know, being sent somewhere else to establish something, you know, to put something in place that was not there before, there is some form of entrepreneurship there, right? Because you were sent there to establish something, to manage something and all that. You need to have those skills that will be able to, what are the basic skills? Now, I know I spoke about it earlier, but then, if you wanted to give something like that, like she spoke about, she wanted to start up a shoe something and she was scared of security. If somebody wants to go establish something somewhere, something already existing or something entirely new, what sort of advice can you give to such a person?
Two things. First one is that you need to be humble. You need to go into the place because you are, there are going to be people who know the environment better than you do. And you need to acknowledge that fact. You need to take their advice in a lot of different cases. And then the second one is you have to be adaptable. You have to be able to adapt to the environment that you're in. Why is that important? Because let's call entrepreneurs usually fall into the trap of trying to solve problems that do not really exist. In your mind, there is a problem and you're providing a solution, but when you go to the market, you realize that that is not the problem. So you are solving something that is not a problem in its first place.
And then you become so stubborn. You want to, because, you know, you've heard that you should be obdurate, you should stick to what you want to do. You become so stubborn, and then you find out that you're losing ground.
Exactly, exactly. So, I mean, I cannot tell you how many times we try one solution, and then we realize that that's not going to stick, and then we took a step back and said that, okay, we tried this, it didn't work. Let's move on to the next one. Let's move on to the next one. It's always trial and error. And I think this is something that you need to embrace.
I think right now I'm really inspired. I'll probably go back to, you know, my idea of opening an online store. But then when you were speaking earlier, you spoke about, you know, some of the difficulties, I mean, the hardest difficulties you've had to face. Can you just tell us the hardest difficulty you've had to face in this regard?
The hardest one, it's hard to say because they're difficult in different dimensions. But I'll tell one very interesting story. It's actually happened during Black Friday. So in Black Friday, we multiplied our daily orders by 15, 20 times. So that is an incredible number. It's just like I'm on the phone, it's past midnight, and I see the number of orders that we are receiving. And all I had to do is that I had to call all my managers around 2 o'clock in the morning, and I said, guys, you better be at work at 6 o'clock because we're going to have a hell of a day.
Yeah.
Wow.
You better be ready for it because this is a significant day for us. And that might seem like hardship, that might seem like a challenge, but the willingness and the excitement of the team turns it into an extremely, extremely fun day. And I think this is, let's go back to what we define as entrepreneurs. I think this is an important skill to have. Yes, you're going to face difficulties, but this is the game that you're in, and you need to embrace it, and you need to adapt to it, and then have fun along the way.
Wow.
Okay,
That's very,
so,
very interesting. Quite interesting.
Well, okay, today's Tuesday. What is Sefik wakes up in the morning? I don't know if you wake up in the morning or if you wake up at night. You know, it's different. What is Shefik's average day or night? Because when I say what's your average day like, I think that's relative. But then what's your average lifestyle like?
Routine,
Whenever you wake up, when you wake up?
I usually try to wake up around 5:30.
When do you sleep?
I usually go to bed around 11:30, 12. So it's
12.
short nights.
Short
Okay.
nights.
So
When I wake up, one of the first things that I do, I watch a little bit of news to see what happened overnight, what's going on, and then I prepare myself a nice breakfast, and then
you prepare yourself?
yeah, I prepare myself.
Interesting.
I'd like to
prepare
experience
myself
that.
breakfast.
How well would you rate your culinary skills?
I'm quite a good cook, I would say.
Really?
Yeah, I enjoy
Really?
cooking. I do not have as all the time that I would like to.
Okay, we
but
have
I
a show.
should.
We have a show called Taste Buds.
Buds, yeah.
I don't know, maybe we want to feature you on that show. But then,
Probably
no,
might
really,
make
I
some
want to see.
Turkish, some Turkish dish.
Why
Are
not?
you good
Why
with Turkish
not?
dish?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Do you cook any Nigerian African kind of dish?
I do fried plantain.
Guess what? Don't worry,
I
don't
also
feel
fry
bad. That's my
plantain.
favorite.
And I don't know how to cook. So I am
Mike,
okay.
you
But then,
cook noodles
okay.
as well.
Yeah, I do.
You
I
still
do.
don't know.
So after cooking and all that, how does your day roll?
Then I start responding to my emails. I try to limit my email responding time to minimum while I'm at the office because while you're in the office, you want to be engaged. You want to talk to your sellers, you want to talk to your buyers, you want to talk to your managers, and you just want to be engaged in work. And then I go to work, usually depends what time. And then the day is just a series of meetings and things you need to do in and out. It's sometimes a seller decides to visit the office. I usually try to drop everything and then try to spend some time with the sellers because that's the core of our business, basically. If you do not understand how well you are doing serving people, then there's no point of in this business. And then I usually wrap my day around 7:38. I go home. I try to spend an hour and a half cooking with my girlfriend, and then we eat together. And then maybe watch a little bit of TV if we have time. If you do not, I have to go back to my email a little bit. And then before I go to bed, I try to read.
Sorry, I need to clarify this. Maybe I misheard you. I had girlfriends. You meant girlfriend?
No, girlfriend.
Okay.
Girlfriend, one.
Anyways, it looks like you have a really, really busy routine, and this happens every day. How do you relax?
Whenever I can, I play squash. I love playing squash.
Okay.
So I try to play squash at least a couple of times a week. It doesn't happen all the time.
You know, dissidents of that game feel like it's
Here we go.
It's a bit of that. How do I put it now? Okay, I don't want to seem as though I'm throwing shade, but then like that's a bit feminine and all that. No. They come up like a squash. I go and play some tennis. Go out and play the hard one. You know, don't hit it at the wall and play back at you. But actually, that's one game I've never come in contact with. And when I watch, I always would have wanted to really have a feel of that game. Apart from squash, what else do you?
I go for a run every now and then. It's especially when you feel stressed. It's a great way to release. Then I go out for dinners. Sometimes those dinners are for pleasure. Sometimes it's work-related dinners. You take it as it comes. And yeah, this is. And then when I take time, I'm a keen cyclist. I haven't brought my bike to Nigeria, unfortunately, but I've done a few long distance cycling tours.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
If you had to, just very fast, does the routine of every day, does it get monotonous? Does it get, does it get tiring at
It's
times?
impossible to get monotone in Nigeria. In a place like Lagos, it's impossible. Like try to have a monotone day.
Okay. How long have you been in Lagos, Nigeria?
10 months, 9-10 months.
Oh, 10 months.
Okay.
Have you ever come across, have you ever had to, now you said something about adaptability when you come to an area, getting to know. Have you ever had to communicate in Yoruba or pidgin or something?
Yes. I mean, of course, I did not. I wasn't the one who was speaking, but
Okay,
I mean, I can tell you, pidgin, especially in the first 2-3 months. I'm not going to lie. It was difficult for me to speak on the phone because sometimes I would be on the phone and I wouldn't understand what we were telling, and I actually had to ask them to send me a text message so that I exactly knew what was going on. And but like, you adapt, you learn.
Can you like show us your pidgin skills? Because
no, I'm not doing that.
Oh,
I'm not doing it on record.
I can teach you one now, and
I'll
then
do
you
that
just
once we turn the TVs on.
Okay, let's teach you.
Let's just
Okay,
teach
hold
you.
on, let's teach you. Let's teach you. What do we do now? What do you do for him now? What do? No, yeah. Okay.
I'm beautiful.
Okay. You know, when you want to, if you wanted to give, let's see now. We love our ladies. We love giving them compliments. Do you know how to give a compliment in pidgin English? Okay.
Teach me.
Like, for instance, now you want to say,
Mike.
"Hey, you're looking very beautiful. You look lovely. How you doing?"
This is
But
something.
in Nigeria, there's a way we say it. Say, "Man, babe, you said to."
Oh, babe, you said to.
Exactly. You say something about pidgin now.
That is not how a gentleman says it, Mike. That's not nice.
Calm down.
That's not
You say something about pidgin. So you see why pidgin is very peculiar. It's actually English, but then it's about the placement of words. Babe is English, set is English, but then you is also English, but then it's the way we place it. That's one key thing in pidgin. We actually use English, but then the placement is very, very funny. Say, man, babe, this babe fine, well.
And you have the expression on your face, you know, that'll make me feel
Exactly.
Yes.
So convince her that she's fine with pidgin.
Show me again.
Okay, so either babe you set or babe you fine, well, oh man. Man, see the way you take B like this, you didn't make my head go
Isn't it
gaga.
love things?
Okay, let's use that one.
Oh,
The way you
baby,
take
you
B.
make my head go gaga. Wow, was it good? Was it good? I don't know. You guys tell me.
Okay, so Sefik, let's round up with this. How do people keep in touch with you? Okay, maybe your business, what you do. How do we get to access Kaymu easily and all of that online?
I mean, the easiest way is, of course, we're an internet-based company, so go to our site, www.kaymu.com.ng, and you can find phone numbers and emails. You can reach out to us anytime, and that's a little secret. I sometimes actually listen into those conversations, and sometimes I do answer customer service calls.
Wow.
Yes, because I want
That's
to. I just want
fantastic.
to. Because it's, as I said, there's no better way to be in touch with our buyers and
That's
sellers.
fantastic.
All right,
That's
it's been a great show.
amazing.
Thank you very much for tuning on to the show.
Thank you,
We'll
guys.
see you tomorrow.
Yes.